Hey guys, tonight we wander through the forgotten Ottoman coffee houses, where every warm cup begins with a surprising number of invisible hands. Imagine stepping from a narrow stone street into the faint blue light before sunrise. The city still yawns in its sleep. Cats patrol the alleys like tiny unpaid security guards, and somewhere in the distance, the first call to prayer drifts through the cool morning air. Long before the customers arrive to debate politics, trade stories, or simply enjoy a quiet drink, an entire cast of workers is already moving through the shadows. Most of them never appear in paintings, rarely earn a mention in history books, and yet without them, not a single cup of coffee would ever reach the table. And if you think waking before dawn every day sounds difficult, well, you probably won't survive this. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're settling in, let me know where you're listening from and what your local time is. It's always comforting to see just how many corners of the world gather together for these sleepy journeys. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You find yourself standing outside a modest Ottoman coffee house, while the sky is still painted in deep shades of blue. The wooden door creaks open, not with dramatic flair, but with the familiar sigh of something that has repeated the same motion thousands of times. Inside, darkness gives way to tiny pockets of amber light as oil lamps flicker awake. The first person you notice is not the owner. It is a quiet worker, carrying buckets of fresh water balanced carefully across a shoulder pole. Before coffee can be brewed, before cups can be warmed, before conversations begin, clean water must arrive. It sounds wonderfully simple until you remember there are no electric pumps, no kitchen faucets, and certainly no convenient delivery trucks waiting outside. Every bucket represents a walk through winding streets. Every drop is precious. Coffee itself had become deeply woven into Ottoman urban life by the 16th century, especially after coffeehouses spread through Istanbul. They quickly became gathering places for merchants, scholars, travelers, poets, and ordinary workers looking for warmth and conversation. That much historians know with confidence, but the countless assistants behind the scenes rarely receive names. Instead, history leaves you footprints instead of portraits. You continue inside as another worker unfolds woven cushions that spent the night stacked neatly against the wall. Dust is brushed away with practiced movements. Low wooden stools are arranged with surprising care. Even the angle matters. A comfortable customer stays longer. A longer stay often means another cup. It's an early lesson in hospitality that would still make modern cafes nod in approval. Except today's employee might complain about opening at 6 in the morning. This fellow has probably been awake since something resembling 4. Your sympathy grows immediately. The room slowly changes personality. Only minutes ago, it felt like an empty shell. Now it begins looking like a place where arguments about poetry could unexpectedly become debates about astronomy, before ending with someone insisting his uncle once met the world's greatest wrestler. Coffeehouses had a reputation for lively discussion. News spread rapidly through them. Travelers exchanged stories, musicians performed, and professional storytellers often entertained audiences. They became social centers unlike almost anywhere else in the city. Of course, not everyone appreciated that. Some rulers occasionally viewed coffeehouses with suspicion because large gatherings naturally encouraged conversations beyond coffee itself. Historians still argue whether government fears focused more on political discussion or simply on the difficulty of monitoring so many busy meeting places. Either way, these humble buildings carried far more influence than their simple wooden walls suggested. Near the entrance, you notice another forgotten worker inspecting tiny porcelain cups one by one. A cracked rim is quietly removed. A chipped cup might embarrass the establishment or burn someone's fingers. It is careful work, almost meditative. Every cup receives attention. Every tray is balanced. Nothing appears rushed. The smell arrives before the coffee does. Charcoal from yesterday still whispers beneath gray ash. Fresh beans wait nearby inside cloth sacks. The entire room carries hints of roasted earth, polished wood, damp stone, and faint smoke lingering from countless previous evenings. Outside, sunlight finally brushes across rooftops. Inside, the coffeehouse breathes awake. You realize something unexpected. Customers will soon believe they are simply arriving for coffee. They will never see the invisible orchestra already performing hours before opening. And perhaps that is the strange magic of forgotten jobs. When they are done perfectly, nobody notices they ever existed. The stage feels effortless because someone spent hours preparing every corner before the audience entered. You quietly take another look around, knowing that somewhere nearby, another specialist is already preparing the glowing heart of the entire coffeehouse, the charcoal fire that must never truly die.